energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is up, Star Wars nerds, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Carbonite Convos Podcast. Today is episode 61, but it is our episode for Star Wars Podcast Day, so we can't be more excited to be part of this for a second year in a row. And for those of you who don't know, Star Wars Podcast Day is in celebration of this year it's the 23rd anniversary of Jedi Talk, which was the very first Star Wars podcast ever to grace the internet, the interweb, our headphones, everything. It premiered first on February 7th, 1999, and we couldn't get an episode out on the 7th, but this podcast, along with a bunch of other episodes from some incredible podcasters and content creators across the Star Wars fandom, are releasing episodes this week in honor of this holiday for us. So thank you for tuning in, and to those of you who are in the community and part of Podcast Day, thank you for including us once again. I am your host, Funko Stud. I can be found at that name on Instagram and Twitter. And like always, I'm joined by Alec Porterfield, aka Wall Crawler Pops, on those outlets as well. Alec,
what's up, man?
Second Star Wars Podcast Day, Star Wars Pod Day, SWPD 2022. What does that mean to you?
Man, it's interesting because the further we get into it, the more times we're getting around the circle of these events. Star Wars Day, like May the 4th, and the anniversary of us establishing our pod 2 years is coming up pretty soon. So
yeah,
it's really crazy to say, oh, this is the second time we're doing it. And I've really appreciated how much we've grown throughout this process. Obviously the podcast has gotten better. Our presence has gotten better. We hope so. We think so. So, anyways, sorry, I lost where I was going.
No, you're fine. You're fine, brother. I mean, it's a great day for everybody, not just people who talk on Star Wars podcasts, but those who listen, because, I know a lot of the podcast episodes for Star Wars Podcast Day kind of take a different route, because usually we talk about news, we talk about what's going on in the fandom, announcements, which we will mention a couple that I didn't expect to be on. So yes, we will get a couple.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a chance to learn about the creators and the actual podcasters more, because today, we're just going to talk about Star Wars in general, what it means to us, what it's meant for our lives, and how it's changed us. Because for starters, we have a podcast, we dedicate a lot of our time to it, and who knows if we'd have a podcast if it weren't for Marvel and Star Wars. But I guess before we get into that, let's talk about quickly Book of Boba. I know we talked about it in our review and our reaction, so go check those out if you haven't. But we can talk about that, and then we can talk about the big thing that came out last night.
Yes.
All right, so Book of Boba. Any crazy thoughts that we haven't talked about yet? Anything you want to reinforce?
So let's just talk about the era that we are alive in right now inside of Star Wars.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Book of Boba absolutely took a left turn. Absolutely took a left turn, dude. And not in the way of like, it changed how Star Wars is, like the people in the TV show or anything along those lines, but the outcome of what we could be expecting, how many crossovers, tie-in events that we're creating a bigger cinematic universe than what has existed before. Where it's always been about the Skywalker
been pretty
saga.
Linear.
It's been extremely linear, following one story. This is going to tie in how many countless amounts of stories where there's evil and crime going on across the entire galaxy. We're going to see it spread across planets and across heroes and across different generations of villains, and then they're all going to get brought together in some capacity where it's literally going to be Star Wars Endgame. And I can't be more excited as a fan. I can't say I've been a fan for the longest time, because it's not true. And this is the whole thing today is to dive into us a little bit. But I got into Star Wars a few years ago when I went to college, and I was kind of exposed to it. I had seen a movie or two when I was younger, but I hadn't really seen a lot. And I was fortunate enough to see it all, after it came out. So like I got the story, and I got the story fast. And what's fun is no one knows where this new storylines are going. It is an exponentially growing opportunity for the fandom. And I can't consider myself lucky enough to be a part of the fandom right now.
100%. Also going off that, the point we're at in history, the point we're at in the world right now in terms of technology, that helps so much because we talk about when Rise of Skywalker came out, it's the end of the Skywalker saga. So, that's a sad end for a lot of people, that the Skywalker saga is ending, not talking about the sequel trilogy and if you liked or disliked it, but regardless of if it was done flawlessly, the end is sad, even if it's happy, like Endgame happened. It was arguably one of the best movies of all time, but it was still sad. So the fact that it was advertised as the Skywalker saga is ending, and yet we can still have the universe grow exponentially, like you say, in many different branches, but still have Luke Skywalker, still have these characters that we knew and grew up with be involved as well, and I think we owe a lot of that to technology and how far that has advanced. Because 50 years ago, even 20 years ago, if Luke Skywalker is several years gone and you want to put his 30-year younger self in a movie, it's not going to happen. But we have the luxury now of being able to put in any person into a movie.
And especially with the jump in CGI, especially on the young Mark Hamill, was absolutely outstanding.
It shows you how far they've come in less than a year.
Yes.
Like, all right, when did Mando season 2 come out? When was that? Was that
December 2020?
More than a year. Sorry, December 2020. Yeah, sorry, I had it all backed up.
So a little bit over a year.
Over a year, and it's come that because I had no complaints over the CGI in Mando season 2.
No,
of
I
Luke
mean,
Skywalker.
for what it was,
I was like,
them to be able to do that and for it to look as good as it did, I'm all for it. And what's funny is there was even a jump from like Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One, that there was a jump from that to seeing Luke. And then, so I feel like it's just trial and error. They're going to get it right, and they're getting the best people involved with this possible.
Yeah. And they're lucky that it's the biggest company in the world, but still,
they're going to have the best people doing it.
Yeah, we have the best. We're at the pinnacle. Well, not pinnacle because that means you're only going down,
right?
But, we are at the highest we've ever been in terms of technology. So it's super exciting what that can do for the fandom. But yeah, Book of Boba Fett, start to finish, absolutely loved it. Was it slow at times? Yes. Did it take a little bit to get used to the new Boba Fett? Yeah. But I think by the end, we got to see Boba how everybody imagined it. And it was only in the last episode that we saw him be like that, but I don't think that's the last time that it's going to happen, because we still need to see Mando take over Mandalore. And like I said a couple weeks ago, I think Boba Fett's going to help him, while still having to run Tatooine, because just because the Pikes on Tatooine are dead doesn't mean that the problem is solved. There's still
Cobb Vanth's probably going to be some sort of not apprentice, or kind of a right-hand man to Boba. I can only guess, because there's got to be some sort of tie-in there.
Exactly, dude. There's unlimited possibilities where this show could go. So it's,
what I think made Boba really good was that when it started, yes, it was slow. Okay. But what it did was it made us have a perspective of having no idea where the storyline's going to go. Okay, we assumed it was going to be the development of Boba, how he comes to, fix or rule Tatooine, but we didn't know how he was going to get there, what was going to happen. And the first surprise off the bat was Chrysanthemum. And I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. We're getting legends tied in. Like, this is absolutely fantastic. We love it.
Well, he's been in canon for a little bit, but
right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for him to become a live action character, is a big deal.
Yeah, live action,
right?
Yeah.
So we'll jump into that, and then for episode 5 to come out and it to be completely about Mando was a complete out of left field shock. And then for episode 6, which is potentially the height of Star Wars that I've personally seen, it was just mind blowing. And from what it started from to what it ended to, it was just not what I was expecting in all the good ways. And the main reason I liked that, because I think it represented what Boba was about. It's called the Book of Boba because it's about Boba. Even though there was 2 episodes that weren't about him, Boba wouldn't want them to be about him. He's a simple man making his way through the galaxy. Okay. And that's what this show put him into perspective to be. He's a simple man. He wants to rule Tatooine, be fair. He doesn't want people to be hurt. He just wants, peace and for everything to run properly. And that's it.
Yeah. Now, I loved the series as a whole. It's hard to wake a person up at 3 a.m. and them to, meanwhile, stay up for 2 hours after it, editing and recording and doing stuff like that, and make a person feel like it was truly worth it. So that was an awesome feeling. And
this was a game changer for us as a channel, I feel too, because we changed our style up a little bit. We typically had the the reactions, which we would have a few minutes at the end where we'd dive into it and we say, let's wait and let's talk about it on the podcast later. But we're like, you know what, while it's fresh and stuff, we should talk about it. So we decided to split the videos up. And so we'll have a separate reaction video and then a separate review of the episode immediately after we've seen it. And it was kind of fun because Nick and I would just be on FaceTime, like editing at the same time. And before it was just like, all right, episode's over. One of us goes to bed and one of us is going to be miserable the next morning. And it just made us feel a little bit.
Now we're both miserable.
Now we're both miserable. So we're in this together.
Misery loves company.
Yeah.
It does make it easier though.
It made it a lot easier. It really did.
It's a good few hours also to just spitball ideas and stuff because, it's the middle of the night. We're both sitting there editing our respective video, and
it's a lot of downtime because you have to wait however long for the computer to export the stuff. And we're just like thinking around with our pops and like, hey bro, should I move this one like 3 inches to the left? What do you think?
Dude, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like, I try to look back and think, because Alec and I have been friends since 2009. Mm-hmm. We started collecting pops in 2018.
Yeah.
And the podcast became a thing in 2020. And I sit there and think, like, what the hell did we talk about before we were collectors and before we had this podcast?
Well, we love baseball.
We love baseball.
And so that was our whole lives up and through like high school and college and stuff. And then.
Yeah, but because we didn't talk on the phone all the time. It's like now Alec and I.
Well, no, because we lived less than a mile apart up until we both went to college. And then when we both went to college, we started talking on the phone like damn near every day.
Yeah.
And it's been several years like that now. So I don't know what we talked about. We just had a lot going on in our lives and stuff. We just kind of chill. We play some PlayStation. We used to play Battlefront a lot.
Yeah. I was watching through bloopers last night of our show, and it was crazy because it was you recording in your room in West Virginia with those plastic shelves. And I was like, oh, because you made it look awesome. But I was like, oh my gosh, that's his room in West Virginia. That's
upgrade.
Look at how shitty we sound on the mics. Like, oh my gosh, this is terrible quality.
Well, technically I'm still using that same mic. So
no, that was one.
I still sound shitty. So
no, like it was, I don't know. Something was different.
No, I'm with you.
I saw a blooper from our second ever episode. You were in a hotel. I was at my house in Florida.
Oh my God. I remember that episode. It was about something about Palpatine. And we did it did the whole thing, and then we recorded it and found out we didn't have any audio.
Oh my god!
And we're like,
I know, I forgot.
So we redid the entire thing, and it was terrible. Like,
I just remember having to text you because like it was my job. I was like
so mad.
I know. I had to text you and say like, "Hey, bro, I don't know how to tell you this, but it didn't catch the audio." You're like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yeah, it's been an hour. Like I've done everything possible." But the thing is now is oh wait, never mind. Even if you record, like it gives you the audio option after you export a Zoom, but if it doesn't record any audio, it's gonna be blank.
Yeah.
So that's happened a couple times though, where we forget to record. We get through a good video and we start over. But there's also
one time I went to go do a Morbius reaction by myself. I think you were at work and it was early one morning, and I did the whole thing.
And then it's not a reaction anymore.
No audio. Damn it.
Dude, but sometimes it saved us too, because even last week when we were recording part 5 of the No Way Home list, we got through the entire list. And then we realized like, oh shit. Well, it was like on the outro, we were like, yeah, like I think we were almost done. We were
damn near done.
It's not recording. And I was like, thank God, because this whole time we've been recording, I'm like, oh man, this is not good. This is not good. But I don't want to stop and tell him 5 minutes in that we have to start over on a 10-minute video. But go check out our No Way Home list.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun to make.
It was a lot of fun. We're going to have a Book of Boba Fett concept list coming out in the next few days. So please be ready for that. That's going to be really cool. But yeah, man, I was watching through bloopers in the one I sent you today where it was
we just couldn't stop laughing.
Alec and I, it was before an episode. And what kills me is I'm watching this blooper with Rosemary, and she says, "Why are you guys laughing?" And a couple seconds later, and I'm just I didn't even answer because I'm just watching it and I'm laughing because seeing people laugh makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And a couple seconds later, you say, "Absolutely no reason," because we were laughing for nothing. And we couldn't stop laughing for 3.5 straight minutes.
We kept trying to start. What's up? And we just couldn't do it.
Someone would smirk.
Yeah. It just,
oh man.
Couldn't get through it. Just couldn't get through it. But.
All right. Back to Book of Boba really quick. That's what's good about this episode is we can segue like that and go off on a complete tangent and it not matter because it's not supposed to be about anything this week. Book of Boba, loved it. It was incredible from start to finish. I think we're not going to re-say everything. We are going to move forward with the fact that Boba Fett was riding a freaking Rancor, and that was still the coolest thing that I've ever seen.
How about the comparison that his sister did the same thing about 30 years earlier?
Did she ride one?
She rode that Rancor.
Not that Rancor. We don't know.
Not that Rancor. A Rancor that was at.
That's dope. I forgot. Like I remember the Rancor being in the Bad Batch episode, but talk about a foreshadow.
Yeah,
kinda. That's really cool.
I'm so excited to see what the future of Omega is, man. We
have Bad Batch coming out this year.
Yeah. That's right. I know, but like, I'm surprised.
How is that going to play in?
It has to. It has to. They wouldn't be doing this for no reason. Like,
no, and they're building this universe. And, I think the only bad thing is that Book of Boba, all this stuff is at the tail end. It's after the Empire and everything in Bad Batch, which, Bad Batch was okay. I liked it. It was no Clone Wars. It wasn't Book of Boba. It wasn't anything like that, but I enjoyed it. That's all not pre-Empire, but first few days of the Empire, so damn near pre-Empire. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can loop everything in when it's too the eras at one point are a day apart between post-Empire and current Empire, but at this point, it's the early days of the Empire forming, so it's going to be
not really established quite yet.
Exactly
where they are.
So it's going to be, I don't know. I'd like to think that it would connect with the rest of the story, but we don't We don't. It will connect in some ways where Clone Wars characters are popping up in Book of Boba, but I don't see it connecting right now in the way that Mando and Boba are connecting.
No, the only connection as of right this minute is
Omega.
Fennec and Omega.
Fennec,
But
yeah, Fennec's a big one. Omega's a big one.
Cad Bane,
We
obviously.
don't know if that if that is the Rancor or not.
I don't know if it's the same one or not, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know because it was a baby.
it was a baby. And who knows how long they live? I'm sure it's quite a while.
Yeah. The only thing is, the Rancor keeper, I can't remember his name right now. It's making me really mad. He says that they imprint on the first person that they see.
Mm,
And that Rancor's seen a good few people.
yeah.
Yeah, it very well could be the same Rancor. But yeah, just seeing him ride that.
Well,
Who
okay,
knows?
maybe if it is the same Rancor, maybe if it saw Omega, it would identify Boba as the same person because it technically is.
Yeah, but well, they're not.
Maybe because maybe it's off
technically
a
the same,
smell
but
or something. I don't know.
I doubt they smell the same.
Yeah, no, he probably reeks
I would. Well, at one point, I'm sure he did. Well, yeah,
like a bantha.
smells like a banta. Those memes are so stupid.
I love it.
They're so stupid.
Dude, Tamora Morrison is awesome.
I like him a lot.
He's awesome.
He says that and this is where I'm confused because I thought season 2 was already confirmed, but he said if there's a season 2, he would like to see Boba hunt down Mace Windu.
Wild.
I know. I don't know if I would like that or not because at some point you can't bring everybody back to life.
No, you know, want to know something I thought about earlier? Well, actually, I saw it on TikTok, ironically, but it's about the same thing. I've never thought about it before, but if Django would have survived another like 5 minutes, he would have had to fight an army of himself.
True. Because he's on the opposite side.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That's a good Star Wars what if, man. What if Django wouldn't have died? Would he?
Star Wars what if? Dude, I would love for that to happen. Could you imagine?
The problem with it is Marvel what if is actually there's a multiverse.
Yeah.
And Star Wars what if they made that, for me it would have to be Legends.
Yes.
Where it's just cool stories of here's what if. It's not canon. It's literally just what if.
I don't think that's out of the question after like Visions, like that style show.
No, I know. True. Not wrong. Who would be the Watcher? Who would?
Jar Jar.
I was thinking like Ben. What's the big guy in Rebels? Bengu. The Bengu.
Oh.
I can't remember his name right now.
Bendu.
Yeah, the Bendu. Because he's up in the
Yeah,
clouds.
something like that.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. I don't really have much more to say about Boba. We talked about it in the reaction, the review, the failed podcast episode from last week that is in the Carbonite Convos archives.
Trash can.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually did trash it. The archives. How about really quick before we get on
the
to
last episode? Do you remember the episode of
Deadass.
SpongeBob? The last episode.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was about, but it was
It
stupid.
was the cave.
No,
caveman, right?
The lost episode. What? No, remember the lost episode.
It was about the pirate.
it
It
was
was
a-
about Patchy.
It was
and he
about
going
Patchy
to
looking for it, and then
Yeah.
the episode was just SpongeBob walking down the road and making his
Yeah.
stupid sounds. It was
Yeah.
funny. We got our first Kenobi trailer. Scratch that. Do not
Nope.
listen to me.
We
We
did
got our
not hit
first
that.
Kenobi poster
Yeah, with a release date.
with a release date. What is it? May 25th?
Yep.
24th.
25th.
25th, man. That's in a couple short months.
Dude, it's confirmed that there's going to be scenes of Obi-Wan and Anakin together.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be.
I know, but I'm just so interested to see how it's going to work, man. Like,
It will.
I don't know.
It'll
I don't.
work.
Speaking of that, I actually just changed this section up. So like you can barely see it for the.
Hold up, I'm still looking up this poster really quick because
I just added the Ben Kenobi Invader right here that I like a lot.
I know you did. I know.
Yeah.
Showed me on FaceTime.
All
right, so Star Wars Direct posted a video picture of it like very up close. And it's
I saw what you're talking about.
What I really like is he's holding a lightsaber, but it does not
look
not
like
his.
It's not his.
Doesn't. Sorry, I'm looking like I'm like all jacked up right now, but that is not his lightsaber.
Could it be Qui-Gon's by chance?
It
could be Qui-Gon's or it could be Anakin's.
See, when I look at, I think it looks the most like Anakin's. But even then, I don't think it looks completely like Anakin's. So it's interesting, man. And he's wearing no garb. Like he has a cloak on, but he's dressed like a nomad, truly. So dude, I just can't wait for this. I mean, we think of, what seeing Luke did to us, man, we grew up with the prequel trilogy. We grew up with that. So seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan again, oh my gosh. I don't even know. It's indescribable.
Dude, we talked about a minute ago, like it's hard to get someone up at 3 a.m. to go and watch something and do all the work that is involved in the reaction and stuff, but I am pumped for those ones.
Oh,
pumped.
See, I'm pumped normally, and just the pumpage on this series,
the pumpage
on this series is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sorry, your Wi-Fi is acting up really bad.
Is it being bad? Nah.
Yeah.
It's been on the sketchier side lately. How is it now?
It's fine. I wish we had a minute marker to show where it is. Screw it. You guys are getting true uncut Carbonite Convos this week. No cuts. Yeah, but man, that's where I grew up, is Obi-Wan, Anakin, Mace Windu, Yoda.
Right.
I can't believe it. I can't.
So last thoughts about Boba.
I'm off of Boba. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just have to get
I
this
thought
out
you
there.
were asking me what my last thoughts on Boba were.
No. My last thoughts on Boba. How awesome was Grogu in that little tiny bubble?
Little tiny bubble?
In
the Naboo
Starfighter, yeah.
Yes, dude, that was
where he's like
cool.
Tapping on the glass. Yeah. I saw a meme today, and it was them in the Starfighter, and it was Din talking to Grogu. He's like, there's a space McDonald's on the back. He's like, no, we're not stopping. And then it shows them inside, and he's just like, like, that's
funny.
I love it. I love them together, dude.
I just love how he's tapping it and annoying him, and then it just gets ready. He's like, and I don't know. I thought that was so funny. No, that was great. And then they speed off at light speed into God knows where. We'll find out.
He's got to be taking him back to Luke, man.
Probably. I don't know. We talked about that. Like,
we'll find out later. We'll find out later this year, hopefully.
I think the story. I don't know. I think it's gonna work out. It'll all work out with Boba.
I genuinely think Disney changed their story for those two.
What do you mean?
I think they had to have been done after season 2 together. I think Grogu had to have been going with Luke permanently, and then they realized how much people love them together and how much money they make together. That
I don't know.
They're like, oh, we should keep them together.
I don't know.
That's just my opinion. I'm really happy it is the way that it is right now. That's just my thoughts.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, they print money. All right. So stepping away from Book of Boba, Kenobi, as a Star Wars fan, what do you think is one of the best memories you have just involving Star Wars?
Well, Galaxy's Edge is one of them, dude. It has to be. Like, for us to be able to do that together, our girlfriends came with us. It was an absolutely, it's the most magical place on earth, and it's called that for a reason. The way we felt like there was a lived-in galaxy was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
dude, absolutely incredible. So I think that probably had to be my number one right now. But behind that, it's probably got to be Luke and Mando. And it's that because that was one of our first reaction videos that we did, and it was kind of a turning point for the channel.
Yeah.
And so I kind of associate the two together.
That's cool.
It's kind of like happy memory in two parts,
Yeah, definitely. See, I've been a Star Wars fan my entire life. And my dad was a Star Wars fan for his entire life. So I just have too many. So I can't pick one. I'd say like the earliest though, I remember I saw the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was Attack of the Clones. And that came out in 2003. I was born in 96. So I was 7 years old. I remember seeing that, and I have a couple unique memories. So one of the times that I saw it with my dad, we were in Bradenton, and we sat down and the film wasn't working. So they had to refund everybody's money. We couldn't watch Star Wars, which was a pisser. And then another time I was watching it in IMAX, but I don't know if it was like a special IMAX or I was just super young. So
and it seemed huge.
So maybe it seemed bigger, but I noticed that they were skipping scenes because it wasn't when it came out. It was maybe even a year or two after it came out, but it was one of those where they put it back in theaters. Cause remember Mosey, that museum?
Yeah, that museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They showed it there. And by this time, like I had already known the movie very well. And I noticed that they were scenes were cut out. Like for example,
they probably have to make it fit under a certain minute marker.
I don't know why, but like I remember they cut out the elevator scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and that's the first time you see Anakin as Hayden Christensen. Well, they didn't cut out the entire thing, but they cut out like half of it. I was like, well, what is going on?
What's happened? Yeah.
So that's like my first memory.
Maybe there's a scratch on the DVD.
Maybe. That's like my first memory of Star Wars. But other than that, man, like kind of going off the galaxy's edge, which it can't be topped in certain aspects, man.
No,
is just Star Wars weekends, because I'd been going to Disney my entire life growing up. And I remember Star Wars weekends for a couple weekends a year. It was all Star Wars. And, Star Wars is everywhere at Disney now, but back then it wasn't. So there's dozens and dozens of characters walking around. They're doing the Jedi Academy where you go up on stage, they pick kids out of the crowd and you fight Vader or Maul. And I've done that a couple times. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. Just being able to go to Star Wars weekends at a very young age, it was just super cool.
You know what I always used to love was Star Wars Night at the Trop.
Oh yeah. Yep. You know what Star Wars bobblehead that I never got from the Trop that I really, really wanted was the Jedi Zobrist.
Same.
I never got that one.
Same. I didn't either.
I'm pissed, man.
I have the Han Longo, the Archer Stormtrooper, Kevin Kiermaier, X-Wing pilot.
Yeah.
Are those the only raised ones? And then there's the Kiermaier as Han Solo pop.
Yeah.
That's so interesting that they decide to do that.
One pop. Yeah. I don't know.
One pop. And it's as Han Solo.
That might have been like around the time that Solo came out, maybe.
I think it was.
I think, dude, and that's become a focal point of my collection as well. I'd love to collect a lot of just Star Wars, Marvel, baseball bobbleheads.
You know what I specifically want? You got me. You got it for me. It was the Pittsburgh Pirates bobblehead Spider-Man. There's like 12 different teams that gave those away. I want the Mets. I specifically want the Mets one because he's a Mets fan.
Yeah, dude, the Mets. See, I really like that. I'm a Rays fan overall. I work for the Pirates, so the Pirates are easily, they're, technically my number one. But either way, I'm still a Pirates fan. So Rays and Pirates are.
You're AL and NL.
Exactly. But the Mets, I really like the Mets. I've always been a Gators fan, so maybe it's the color scheme, that blue and orange. I love it. But they have an awesome Spider-Man pop. They have an Spider-Man bobblehead. Have you seen the Syndergaard as Thor?
No,
Dude, it's awesome.
I mean, that makes so
pop.
much sense.
They have like Obi-Wan Kenobi, when Robinson Cano. That's a pretty cool bobblehead. And as everybody knows, I don't think there's anything in this world that I hate more than the New York Yankees. I just think they're scum. But
they are the Empire.
They have an Aaron Judge bobblehead. I can't remember which one it was, but can't even remember if it's Star Wars or Marvel. But I remember looking at it and saying, like, damn, I might need to get that, because I like Judge a lot. But man, it was a cool bobblehead. But I would like to collect a lot of the Star Wars Marvel bobbleheads from around the MLB. Too. And working for MLB, it might be a little easier for me. But yeah,
I want some of the pop giveaways, dude. Like the Griffey one, the Ken Griffey Jr. one, the
Griffey's the only one I want.
Yeah,
just because like I
want some of the classic MLB ones.
See, your collection is smaller to where you can, like, you collect a lot of Spider-Man. You collect a lot of Marvel too, and you collect some Star Wars. I collect a lot of Marvel and almost
a lot of Star Wars,
and I collect anything Tampa. I can't, and Pittsburgh as well. Well, Pittsburgh baseball, not hockey or football or anything like that. But I can't branch out into collecting MLB players because there are too many.
Yeah,
and with my addictive personality, I would have to get them all. But one I would be Griffey. And then
I want Jackie Robinson. They just announced him like 2 days ago. Those are cool. The one of him sliding into the plate.
Yeah. I do want the frog from their headquarters.
The Aqua Sox.
Yeah, I do want one of those.
Yeah.
I would like one of those. But back to what we were talking about. Yeah, Star Wars night was always great. They just announced, they haven't announced it yet, but Star Wars night is happening again at PNC Park. I thought for a while that it wasn't happening, but it is.
Nice.
I don't think there's a bobblehead giveaway or anything, which sucks, but it's at least there's got to be some item attached to it. And I actually have
maybe Ashley Eckstein will be there.
I
doubt it.
Well, because she used to come. So Ahsoka Tano actress Ashley Eckstein, her husband is David Eckstein, who was World Series MVP several years ago, and he actually works for the Pirates. But the thing is he doesn't work in Pittsburgh anymore. He works somewhere else. So, it'd be hard for her to come. But I asked about her because I would if Ashley somehow sees this, please come, because I would love to meet her. I'd love to get some pop signed by her. I know a lot of people would love.
Hey, Ashley, come to Pittsburgh just
to sign my Funko
just to
Pop.
Sign my pops, please.
David, make it happen, man. It's actually a funny story. Ashley was at Skywalker Ranch, and David Eckstein, like, I would like a David Eckstein autograph. He's a World Series MVP. Like, he's a great ball player. She met George the first time she met George Lucas. She brought a David Eckstein signed baseball for him, and he straight up just said he didn't want it. He was like, I don't want it. Like, not being a douche, but he just doesn't like sports. So he's like, I'm okay. Thank you though. So it's like,
jeez,
here's my husband who means something to the world. Do you want this? Nope. Means nothing to me.
I respect it.
I know. He knows what he wants. But yeah, Star Wars weekends, those were always awesome. Star Wars night at any stadium is great. I live in Pittsburgh, so at PPG Paints Arena they had a Star Wars night a few weeks ago, so went to that, got some cool pictures, took a nice Star Wars sign that the bartender let me have. Did I show you that? No, she did.
Yeah, the cantina.
I asked her. I said,
yeah,
hey,
it's dope.
I was like, hey, what are you doing with these signs? She was like, nothing. Like, I don't know. I said, is it okay if I take one? She said, I'm not going to tell you that you can take one, but I wouldn't say anything if you did take one. I was like, okay,
That means yes.
That means yes. So I grabbed it and
in her head, she's probably like, why would you want a piece of paper that?
Well, it's not paper. Like it's a nice sign. Like,
no, I know it is. It looks, I'm just saying, like in her mind, she's probably like, why would you want that?
But, I know, right? It's hung up right above our
you're like, this is dope. Like,
I know. Well, it's awesome because it's a nice Star Wars cantina sign. It says Pittsburgh. It's really cool. But yeah, Star Wars nights are always fun. I think back at one of the big ones is just Comic Cons too. Just being able to experience just
yes. I've only been to a handful of them, but the ones I have been to were a lot of fun.
You've never been to Tampa Bay Comic Con still, have you?
Nope.
Haven't. So you've only been to the one in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Well, you've been to Three Rivers and Steel City. Wow. Oh, bro, that doesn't even.
Well, I've been to one out here too, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Was it bigger than the ones in Pittsburgh?
It was about the same size.
Really? The one in Tampa is
huge.
Fairly bigger. Well, not huge, but it is bigger. Tampa was my first Comic Con too, which that was, out of all of them, that was my favorite. Like, yes, maybe in part because it was my first, but they just had so many activities. And I feel like there aren't a lot of activities at the ones that I've been to since, because they had a life-size Rancor. And I bought a Rancor tooth from them. I was like, I gotta have this.
So
Roxy the Rancor. And it was lit. Man, life-size, you can go up and take pictures. They had just a bunch of like the vintage collection. They had life-size ones of that you could stand in, be a character. They had scenes that you could take pictures with. Like it was just awesome. That goes that goes along Galaxy's Edge too, where you could take a picture anywhere because it's all Star Wars.
You can. Speaking of Galaxy's Edge, dude, they just started like having characters walk around and stuff again. So that's a game changer.
Yeah, man. They're about a month and a half too late, but
I know. We'll go back.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 100% we'll go back.
The only one we saw, and he wasn't walking around, it was Chewie. He was up on, and some stormtroopers, but that's it.
That's it. There wasn't a lot out,
no.
Unfortunately.
I know. It was kind of unfortunate.
Dude, what a process about like the whole fast pass stuff.
Yeah, but it was worth the $20.
That was so worth it. Well,
$40 for us because, girlfriends, but it was still worth it, man. That was the best.
100%.
That was some
of the most fun I've ever had, dude.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Even Avengers Campus, man, that was
awesome.
It was really cool. What about have you gone to like opening nights for Star Wars movies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Probably just two, right?
Just Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And Solo.
I've been to all of them since I've been old enough to go on because, Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005, so I was 9.
Yeah.
So it's like, and if we went to see it in theaters a few days later, but man, I still think back to when I moved up to Pittsburgh. My dad helped me move, and it wasn't opening night. Him and I did see it on opening night together. We bought our tickets a couple months in advance. Him and I did some Christmas shopping, for my mom, for, our family and everything. And then we went and saw Star Wars 2015 for the first time in 10 years. And that was incredible. So we saw it opening night, but then I remember just like a week later is when I moved to Pittsburgh. First night we were here, he was only staying here one night. First night I moved here, we unpacked all my crap and we were like, what do we want to do tonight? He said, let's go see Star Wars.
So
we went to the AMC at the waterfront, which is arguably, that's my favorite movie theater now. Just a lot of great memories there. I saw Endgame, Infinity War. Most of the new Star Wars movies I saw at home because that's during Christmas. But I just remember sitting there in the theater that night. I was leaving my family, my friends, to move up to Pittsburgh for college and didn't know a soul. And just sitting there watching Star Wars, man. Watching Star Wars first night, it's my last night with my dad, and just seeing, Rey on her own, you know, she's on her own going through this thing. And man, I listened to that soundtrack at least 100 times that first semester. And it was I don't know, just an experience you don't forget. One thing that sucks is Luke, Anakin Rey's lightsaber is a big part of that movie. The first thing I thought of when I walked out of that movie is like, son of a bitch, I forgot my lightsaber at home. I didn't want to bring the blade, but I did want the hilt. Just
it's the same one. Yeah.
I just wanted the hilt to have up here, and I forgot it. And I was like, son of a bitch. So I was pissed, but it was all good. So I'd say another one is just seeing them just with a bunch of other Star Wars fans, you know, the cheers, the laughs, everything, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, what an experience. I'm with you.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy just how much it does affect your life, because man, I spend a big part of my day thinking about Star Wars and Marvel.
We wake up and we see our collections.
Yeah.
And
we look at our numbers.
And we look at our numbers. Exactly. We're like, how can we actually just started a new TikTok, Carbonite Collecting. Go check it out. And that's the newest little passion of ours is figuring that out and having some fun displaying our collections on that. So
it's a lot of fun.
Be on the lookout for that. That is,
well, not be on the lookout. Go look at it.
It's already happening. Yeah, go look at it. Go look at it right now.
We are on TikTok at Carbonite Collecting, at Carbonite Convos. We have in total 3 TikToks. Carbonite Collecting, Carbonite Convos, and then the separate TikTok that I take care of, which is Real Fandom Facts. It was originally going to be facts from anything, but you know, I got a few weeks in and I was like, screw it. I don't want to make a fact for, I don't even know. God knows what I like. I like the Titanic, but I don't want to sit there and make a Titanic fact. It's like, I want to talk about Star Wars, Marvel. And now we do have Disney on there. So that'll be cool to have that.
It's all in the same realm.
Yeah. Well, it's all owned by
same people.
Same people. Yep. So definitely go check that out. We post that on our YouTube as well. So if you don't want to switch platforms, we have those on here as YouTube Shorts and on Instagram Reels. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, and you know, Alec and I are going through a lot of changes on the channel that we're still trying to work out. But you know, we sat there and we were trying to think like, man, what are we putting out into the world to where we can just have somebody see our faces and know what we're talking about and just be happy and just bring a positive light to the fandom. Because, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, we get into spats on social media sometimes when people, you know, call us stupid or ugly or something.
I had one yesterday. And it said, oh, look, another failed YouTuber coming on TikTok. You're late to the game, buddy. You're never going to make it. And I was like,
where was that? What video?
On the collecting page.
What? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you
I was
say
like,
something?
Nah, man, I'm above that.
No. Yeah. Well, I was like, what? I did not see that.
I read that and I was like, damn, like, what did I do? It was like, it's like a 6-second video.
I know. Of Thor.
Of nothing. Yeah.
Which one?
No. The No Way Home one.
Oh, really? Of course, another failed YouTuber coming onto TikTok. Oh my gosh. You look at this kid. It's like, shut up.
Yeah. Like, just stop talking, bro.
His name is, for anybody who wants to go spam him or anything, his name is Cheese Nibs. If that says anything about him, Cheese_Nibs1.
What a guy.
This is where you need Thor to just take the mic and say, I will Cheese Nibs. Hey, Thor. Just
run to your father, you little weasel.
It is. What a little punk. And I'd say that's the only negative thing about Star Wars is, you know, you and I are sitting here just trying to put something cool out into the world. You know, it was literally a video. It was literally a video of you talking about Spider-Man No Way Home Funko Pops. And it's like, you have to have the little weasels like that, like freaking Cheese Nibs that just tries to put you down. and it's honestly pathetic on their part, and comedic on ours.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing, because you can't give them a lick of attention. So that's
So
all
what
they
else
want.
do, man? Anything?
Not much, man.
Ooh,
Pops.
check this out.
Let's check it out. Yeah.
Oh, this one's yours, actually, I think. I bought 3 of them.
Well, really quick.
I bet to buy 2. I accidentally bought 3.
I just got a text from my old roommate, Star Wars fan. He texted me. He said, "Bro, I'm watching this episode of Boba Fett. It's enough to make a grown man cry. This series is effing awesome."
Yes.
That's a cool text to get while we're
right
just
now. That's ironic.
this. And I want to text him like, "Yo, I just read that live on the podcast." Because, dude, that's what it does for people. You know, it's like he went about his day today. I went about mine. And then he watches Book of Boba and he texts me. He's like, "It's enough to make a grown man cry," which it is.
Dude, it really is.
I know. I didn't have any crying moments this season. But man, like this season, I don't think I've smiled that much while watching a show ever. Like I just smiled the entire time. And that's what Star Wars does. And I think that's where, people don't always understand that, which is okay. And some people are quick to judge sometimes, but it's like, man, it's just the happiness that it brings to people and just the comfort and the release. And it's, I don't know, everybody has something, and, a galaxy far, far away is ours.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, buddy. What other Star Wars memories do you have, my brother?
I mean, I know it's part of Galaxy's Edge, but the lightsaber.
Oh my gosh. I cried
ceremony
during that.
Has to have been the most heroic I've ever felt. Like it was awesome. Like they literally, when the lights dimmed and Yoda's voice came over the speakers. Oh my God.
I know, bro. It literally made you, it was a feeling like no other, just because, you can watch the movies, you can watch the shows, and you can be absolutely enthralled by what's going on. But to be in the middle of it, they make you feel like you're a Jedi. You don't go in there. And, for anybody who hasn't been just yet, you don't go in there and just make a lightsaber. Like it is a, quote, ceremony. And man,
it's an experience.
It is. They do an incredible job, man. And I know about them, it is about money, which is true, but I think on a deeper level, they know how much this means to people. So they put a lot into it. Are you glitching right now?
I didn't know you were done with your thought.
What was the last thing you heard from me? Because
I heard you. I was just listening. I didn't think you were done talking.
Yeah, I was done.
I was like sitting here. How long are we going to sit here?
Yeah, but man, they did an incredible job, which was awesome, man. We were lucky enough. We had some videos taken, and then the poor bastard next to us. Oh, for anybody that doesn't know,
his girlfriend's recording the whole time and everything. Oh my God.
You grab your lightsaber, you ignite it. Well, you grab it, you ignite it, and you hold it up.
Everyone puts it up at the same time, and everyone lights it at the same time. And this dude, poor guy, did not light up.
I can't imagine what that would make me feel like if I sat there and picked this crystal, made my lightsaber, and then it didn't. I honestly would have.
Not only did I do all that, I paid to do all that.
Yes.
And for it to not work.
That would almost kind of taint the saber for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt
the worker came over and he said too powerful. And then he got him a new one. I felt so bad for the guy.
Dude, what pissed me off about mine, the one negative thing is like, I make it, I do everything right, and then the last piece wouldn't attach. So this mofo comes up, takes the entire thing apart, and then just does it himself. And I'm like, bro, I just made that. Like, Well, he had to get a new part because the one was defective, and he makes it all right in front of me. He's like, bro, I'm sitting there like, you could have at least let me put it back together. Like,
Yeah.
so, but it was, I felt so bad for that dude, man. Like, look, I didn't even notice it though. You did. And then we look back in the video and we see him swinging.
Just like waving it around. It's
no
like
color. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
That sucks. Yeah,
God,
man.
dude, I love my hilt.
Same.
I love my hilt. It's awesome.
It is. It is very cool. Would you ever make another one if money wasn't an object?
If money wasn't an object, 100%.
I'd make it like 80 times.
Yeah, every time I went,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Do you think you'll let's say eventually, money isn't an object. Do you think you'll ever make one again?
Maybe.
Yeah. I'd like to make one with my dad.
Yeah, like something like where it would mean something. Sure.
Like your kid or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe all right, I can make 3 lightsabers in my life. That's where I have to cut it off. I can make one with my dad and I can make one with my kid. I don't have a kid for anybody listening. I assume that I'll have kids.
That you know of.
Yes, sir. Mr. Horror Ramsey. You know me.
Hold on. You said, yes, sir.
No kids in my, no little Nick Juniors running around out there. I'm 99% sure.
99% sure.
I would think there'd be more Alec Juniors running around out there than me. Like,
easy.
Yeah, don't call me. Like, there aren't. We're going down a bad road here.
Yeah, we are.
Oh man. So other than calling each other whores on the podcast, what else? Just so everybody knows, we're also not whores. I'm giving them a hard time.
So I recently moved in with like my girlfriend officially, and my collection has come with me. And so I am excited to not be in front of a green screen anymore.
Yeah.
If it wasn't noticeable, which I think it was probably super noticeable, the past few months I have been using a green screen because I was not able to be in front of my collection for a while, but now it is fully set up. I actually mounted these shelves to the wall today because they're super tall, and I can only imagine if they fell over that my entire collection would be blown to smithereens. So they are bolted up, and I'm excited. I'm gonna get some artwork hung up behind me, and my collection will be present again, which is the whole reason for that TikTok kind of going forward. So yeah, man.
I mean, I'm excited to make it. Not make the TikTok, just move forward with it.
Yeah. I like that because we've had the collection TikToks before, but we had 2 separate ones, and I like that ours is together now. And it's just like our brand, man. It's our thing. So
yes, sir. Carbonite Collecting, a branch of the Carbonite Convos podcast and YouTube channel.
It is.
What is your favorite thing we do?
I'd have to say the reaction, to be honest, because it's the most hype. It's fun to get on here and spit for an hour. And then the pop lists are a lot of fun too, because we work with a lot of creators and get to see some really cool concepts. So I don't know, man. It's a tough question.
Yeah. I like the pop lists a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I just think that says a lot about us as people. Like it's just the nichest thing we do, and it's the other people do podcasts, other people do reactions, other people make TikToks of their collections. I think that's the one thing that other people don't do, and we've been able to partner with arguably the most talented creators on Instagram in that niche. So to be able to have them working with us on it is a big blessing, because the lists would be not like, we have lists that don't have them involved and they suck. Like the ideas are there, but without seeing the pops in front of you, it just doesn't do the same thing. So having them join, it was a huge blessing, and it was able to let us take it to a new level that it couldn't have gotten without them. So yeah, that was the pop lists are some of my favorite. I would say the reactions, but man, sometimes
those get rough.
because like it's not as bad for Alec.
Okay, I take it back. My favorite are the reactions that I don't have to edit.
Yeah.
Those are the most fun.
Yeah. See, now that we edit them the way that we do, they're not as bad. You know?
It's not as bad. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I love it all though. And that's where I really do think, what did we talk about before all this?
Who knows?
What did I spend my money on?
Candy.
I
don't know.
The bank. Talk about printing money. Funko.
Literally.
Yeah.
Printing money.
They can they could literally put out a pop of a pile of poop and people would buy it. To be honest, I might buy it. Like, I think poop's funny, but like, I wouldn't really buy it. But
what?
I saw a Hershey Kiss pop.
Yeah. There's a Pringle can, bro.
There's a Pringle can. Not only is there a Coca-Cola bear, polar bear, there's a Coke bottle. There's a Coke can. There's a Coke bottle cap. So eventually there's going to be a Coca-Cola atom that goes into making the pop, the can. Like, it's like, there's going to be a Coke can tab.
Coke machine.
Yeah. Anything they can make something up. There'll be a
each
pop
letter
of a piece of wood, like a splinter.
They're going to start doing memes eventually.
Well, they already did. They did the dog on fire.
The dog, and especially with NFTs.
Yeah.
People are going to own the rights to things, and then Funko's going to say, hey, let us make a pop of this thing that you own.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that's honestly not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all.
Heard it here.
What else do we have? I
don't know, man.
Any new pops? I updated my cap section today.
You did. It looks sweet.
After work. I think that's about it. We talked about a lot of Star Wars memories. Any other memories that you have, or anything about Star Wars in general that comes to mind?
No, not so much about the memories, but I am excited about the future.
Attaboy, I love it.
I am excited about the future of the fandom, man. There's so much opportunity going forward. Like, we are in a new age and a new. It's becoming this incredible thing, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it too, man. It is something that is able to bring tons of nerds together, and I couldn't be just more thankful to be a part of the fandom. And I couldn't be more thankful to be a part of Star Wars Podcast Day 2022 once again. So everybody, we can't thank you enough for tuning in, the creators for including us for the second consecutive year in Star Wars Podcast Day. Again, it is in celebration of the first podcast, Star Wars podcast from 1999, Jedi Talk. So thank you to them for starting it. And, who knows how many there would be if they didn't. So, we're super excited to be part of it once again. And we are excited, knock on wood, to be a part of it next year, God willing. And again, can't thank you guys enough for joining. We don't have a crazy amount of content coming out. We do have we have
some downtime with the reactions.
Yep, we have YouTube shorts. We have facts, Easter eggs, Funko Pop videos coming out every day on our YouTube channel. So those will, and Instagram and TikTok. So those will be coming out every day, still moving forward. And we do have a Funko Pop concept list coming out either tomorrow or this weekend. Well, sorry, not tomorrow, this weekend, because we're recording on Thursday and they usually come out on Fridays. So either check the channel, and if it's there today, it'll be there today. If it's not there today, it will be there this weekend. But thank you guys again for tuning in. And until the next time you check out Carbonite Convos, remember, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.